the Gaming Fixx Extralife live stream weekend thing. Sorry, guys, I am starting to lose traction a bit. Maybe after lunch, that'll speed up a bit. But we are going to play some actual physical games. And the first one that we're going to play is called Octodice. And here's Octodice right here. And you can donate the link right there. Yeah, you're gonna have to type that in. I don't think you could click it, but if you just type it in and you can donate. Also, if you're on Facebook, you can donate pretty easily as well. I'm gonna try, and so first we're gonna read the rules. We always learn when playing these games, I guess. All right, so let's see here. I'm gonna put this right here. I'm just gonna kind of read the rules here. So you're gonna learn a game, which is what happens when you get a brand new game, and it's a brand new game, and you're watching. So here we go. It's put out by AEG. It's called Octodice. It's a game for 1 to 4 players. We're playing 1 player today. As scientists and engineers on board of the underwater research station Aquasphere, you're facing a big crisis. Your most important tools, the bots, have stopped working. It's time to take matters into your own hands, but quickly. After all, you want to have a major scientific breakthrough before the competition does. So I have to see what the changes on that one is. In the short time you have, you must expand your labs, analyze crystals, dock new submarines, reactivate the bots, and catch octopods. Be careful, though. You never know whether the competition is spying on you. Objective: you win the game by using the dice skillfully to collect the most knowledge points. Knowledge points called just points in the remainder of this rulebook are indicated by the light bulb symbol. All right. So 16 markers, 4 each in the 4-player colors. 9 double-sided lab tiles, 3 each for level 0, 1, and 2, and the scoring pad. Okay. Each player takes a scoring sheet and pen. Pens are not included. Sort the 9 lab tiles by level. The white column at the bottom right Okay. Oh, I see. Okay. Place them in rows on the table for the first game. Also sort the tiles by the code in the top left center. A1, B1, C1, and so on. Future games, you can use random order for each level in any of the 2 sides of each tile. Okay. Each player takes the 4 markers on the player color of their choice. Place one above each column of lab tiles above the level 0 tiles. Each player places their remaining marker in front of them to show their player color. The following rules apply to any number of players in the game. The differences in the solo game are explained on page 12. So we'll look at that in a minute. The game is played over the course of 6 rounds. During each round, each player takes 1 turn. Every 2 rounds, there will be an intermediate scoring, dividing the game into 3 thirds. After the third intermediate scoring, there is a bonus scoring. You then total your scores, and the game ends. Your turn. Each turn goes through 4 phases. A, rolling the dice. B, carry out up to 2 main actions. Crystal research, lab, bot, and submarine actions. C, carry out octopod actions if possible. Opponent's bonus actions if any. Example of an entire turn can be found on page 12. They like page 12. Roll the 6 dice and set any 2 aside. Roll the remaining 4 dice and set any 2 aside. Roll the remaining 2 dice and set them aside with the others. This will use the set aside dice during phases B through D of your turn. To carry out a main action, you must combine a white die and a black die. The white die determines which action you can carry out. The black die determines how it is carried out. Whether the color or the number on the black die is relevant depends on the chosen action. On your turn, you can use at most 2 such combinations to carry out main actions on your scoring pad. When you cross out the last circle of an action, you cannot take that action anymore. Okay. You can carry out your 2 main actions in any order on your scoring pad. Write down the points you receive for those actions in boxes A and B of the current turn. You're analyzing crystals. Cross out any of the 5 circles you receive points equal to the number on the black die. Okay. You're doing research in an area. Cross out the circle that matches the rolled color on the black die. You receive the points depicted at the right of the circle. Important, you must cross out the circles in order as indicated by the arrows. For instance, you cannot cross out the red circle before the yellow circle. Okay. You are expanding your lab. Move a marker down onto the next lab tile. To do so, the number of the black die must match the number of the lab tile you move to. From now on, you can use the ability of the lab tile you move to and any lab tiles above that. In this case, however, you do not receive any points for expanding your lab. Details on the lab tiles can be found on pages 14 to 15. Okay. Bot. You're activating a bot. Cross out the leftmost circle that matches the color of the black die. You receive the points depicted to the right of the crossed out circle. Important. You must cross out the left circle before you cross out the right circle of that color. Submarine. You're preparing a submarine for launch. Cross out the circle that matches the rolled color on the black die. You do not receive any points for that. Note, you receive points for your crossed out submarines during the intermediate scoring. Each crossed out bot of the same color as a crossed out submarine is worth 1 point. Then it says see the intermediate scoring on page 10. Okay. We're on page 8. You're catching octopods. Each third you must cross out at least 2 octopods. For each octopod you rolled, cross out one of the octopod symbols in the intermediate scoring column of the current third. See illustration on the left. Once you crossed out both octopods in the current third, you can also cross out the 2 negative points. See the illustration on the right. Okay. It's tough being an octopod. If you roll 2 or more octopods in one turn, you also receive 1 bonus points. See the illustration on the left. Write down these points in the box with the octopod symbol. On your turn, you roll 3 octopods. You can cross out both octopods on your scoring sheet as well as the negative points. You also receive 3 bonus points. Your opponent benefit from your research. In each third, up to 2 times, you can use an opponent's dice to carry out actions yourself. During your turn, your opponents can choose any 2 dice you roll to combine them for a main or octopod action of their own using any lab abilities they have. They must write down the points they gain from these actions at the bottom row of their scoring sheet, indicated by an I, even if they gained 0 points. You cannot take both additional actions on one opponent's turn. To save time, your opponent should carry out their additional actions simultaneously. Should the order matter, carry them out in play order starting from the player whose turn it is, which will be always me, right? After each player has had 2 turns and 2 additional actions, if any, there is an immediate scoring. For each crossed out submarine, you receive 1 point per crossed out bot of the same color. Your bots operate the submarine. Write down the points in the designated box below the submarine symbol. Example, you receive 2 points for the yellow submarine because you crossed out both yellow bots. You only receive 1 point for the white submarine. Okay. You lose 2 points unless you crossed out both octopods in the current third. There's a symbol for that to remind you. If you crossed out both octopods, you can also cross out the 2 negative points. Total your points from the current third and write them down in the designated box. Bonus scoring. After the third intermediate scoring, there is bonus scoring. If you crossed out the most crystals, you receive 4 points. If you crossed out the second most crystals, you receive 2 points. In case of a tie, evenly divide the points for the respective places among the tied players, rounding up if need be. If 2 players have the most crystals, they each receive 3 points. You do not receive any points unless you crossed out at least 1 crystal. You receive points for your level 2 lab expansion, C lab tiles on pages 14 to 50. Okay. Total the bonus points for crystals and lab experiments. Then write them down on the top. All right. Sorry. Total bonus points for crystals and lab expansions. Then write them down in the top right box. Game end. Total your points from the 3 intermediate scorings and the bonus scoring. Write down the total in the bottom right box. This is your final score. The player with the highest final score wins. In case of a tie, the higher number of crossed out submarines breaks the tie. If still tied, play again to determine the winner. Okay. 12. Here we are. Solo game rules. All right. So on your turn, the yellow player takes a lab action by moving your yellow marker on level 0, the octa plus for that. She does not receive any points striking the perspective box through. She then takes a crystal action using a 1. She crosses out a circle in respective action column and writes down 1 point for that. Because she rolled 2 octopods, yellow can cross out both octopod symbols since she rolled more than 1 octopod in 1 turn. She would receive 1 bonus point for that. Points of the bonus expansion she just did. She even receives 2 bonus points. Sorry. Okay. Play according to the normal rules, but apply the following changes. Play 9 turns instead of 6. The intermediate scoring happens every 3 turns. Write down the points for every 3rd turn in the bottom row where you would your points from additional actions, which you cannot take in the solo game. So you don't get any bonus scoring. Oh, there's no bonus scoring for crystals. Okay. That's how that plays, apparently. Okay. So basically, it looks like you're making sets. Okay. Let's see. So look at a turn again. Intermediate scoring. Okay. Bonus scoring. Okay, example of a turn. On her turn, the yellow player takes a lab action by moving her yellow marker on level 0. The octa plus for that. She does not receive any points, striking the respective box through. She then takes a crystal action using one. Okay, so we're not using any crystal actions because don't get them. Because she rolled 2 octopods. Yellow can cross out both octopod symbols. Since she rolled more than 1 octopod in one turn, she would also receive 1 bonus point for that. Two bonus points, writing them down in their respective box. The additional action, the red player also takes the lab action with the 0. He could have used any other combination if he wanted to. He moves his marker in the middle column down 1 space, writing down 0 points for that. All right. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be right back. I'm going to watch a little video of this because it will help me understand. And I'm probably going to probably watch some shut up and sit down because I'm still not getting this. So I'll be right back. Let's see here. I know I am broadcasting, but I'm just looking here. Mm-hmm. Okay, here we go.